Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about sleep stages. So, what are sleep stages? Sleep stages are just a way to measure how our brain behaves during our sleep. Our body as well reacts differently throughout each sleep stage. This is being measured about the level of electricity that is going through our brain and electricity waves. Sleep, it's also a cycle. So each cycle lasts about 90 minutes, and we go through 4 to 6 sleep cycles during an unusual sleep night. Then we have to know that it is important to realize how we are sleeping, because the way that we sleep and the rest that we get can be affecting our health overall. And also our health problems such as depression, aging, or even a brain injury can affect the way that we go through each sleep stage, and therefore the way that we rest. I'm going to introduce you to some acronyms that we're going to see throughout the presentation, so you will become familiar with them. The first is EEG, or electroencephalogram. This is a brain study. This is a study that shows the level of electricity going through our brain. So this is performed by attaching some sensors into your head and then looking at it on which part of the brain is having more energy, which part of the brain is receiving or giving more electricity. And we will see that in some of the graphs later on in the presentation. The second acronym that we're going to talk about is REM, REM, or rapid eye movement. This is just basically your eyes moving side to side in a rapid way, and this happens during one stage of sleep. It's usually some authors mention 4 sleep stages, some authors mention 3, but in this case, we're going to talk about 4 of them separately. So 3 stages are non-REM, which means that during the first 3 stages, your eyes won't be moving. And then on the final stage, we have the rapid eye movement. The first stage is the awakening stage or transition. The second stage is the light sleep. Third stage is deep sleep. And then the REM stage is the vivid dreaming. And this is a complete cycle which repeats 4 to 6 times throughout the night. And we're going to move forward explaining each of these stages.
NREM sleep stage 1, non-rapid eye movement sleep stage. This is the first stage of the sleep, phase of transition between wake and sleep. Someone who is in this stage of sleep may claim that you woke them up while they were actually still asleep. Sometimes you may also feel that you fell down from your bed, but you didn't fall. You are actually on the bed. What happens in this all stages is your brain slows down, sleep lasts approximately 5 to 10 minutes, your muscles twitch as your body relaxes, it causes your respiration, heartbeat, eye movements to slow down, the brain is still somewhat active, producing waves which is high amplitude theta waves, and which are sluggish brain waves that typically occur in frontal lobe. So here is the table which represent the stages: frequency, amplitude, and waveform type about NREM sleep stage 1. So stage is awake, and frequency is between 15 to 50, and amplitude is less than 50, and waveform type is beta.
Hi, my name is Tshering. Let me continue my presentation from the sleep cycle, and I'll be discussing the second stage of the sleep, that is non-rapid eye movement stage 2. Well, this is the stage where we spend almost 50% of our sleep time, which means this is also a time where we start to fall into light sleep. Our heartbeat and body temperature starts to drop, which is similar to the first stage of the sleep cycle. And in this stage, we spend almost like, on average, we spend almost like 30 minutes to 1 hour, which means our body is starting to get into a deep sleep and into deep relaxation. So more than that, in this stage, we experience two major activity, that is sleep spindle and K complexes. If you look into the slide, you will see EEG graph mentioning the two major activity. The first one, sleep spindle, talks about like actually this sleep spindle, it occurs in all the stages, like stage 1, 2, 3 and 4, but it is more prevalent in the second stage of the sleep cycle. So in this second stage of the sleep cycle, this neural activity, it creates a wave in the thalamus. It is one of the parts of the brain, you know. So this wave being created in these parts of the brain act as one of the bridge, or it is important in regulating our sleep. More than that, it is important in learning and retaining our memory. So it plays a very important role in the second stage of the sleep, or the overall sleep cycle. And moving on, we have another activity that happens in the second stage, that is K complexes. So this K complex is another like major activity that act as a stimulus in the environment, in the sleeping environment, which means like it is a large wave that stimulates a person in a sleep not to wake up from the external distractions like noise, like touch, or any other stimuli. However, there are people who are suffering from sleep apnea, epilepsy, restless leg disorder, and those are the people who are having abnormal K complex disorder. So those people with lacking in these K complexes are the people who are having difficulties in falling asleep, and they easily get distracted by the external factors like noise, like sound or touch or anything. They easily get distracted. So overall, these are some of the major components of the second stage of the sleep cycle. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'm gonna talk a little bit about the third phase of the sleep cycle, which is considered to be the deepest phase of sleep, and it's characterized by signals with much lower frequencies and higher amplitudes that are called delta waves. The delta waves are predominant during in the brain activity during this phase of the sleep. And this phase is actually the most difficult phase of for a person to awaken from. For some people, even loud noises would not be enough to for them to awake from sleep. And this is all because of the decreasing rates of muscle tone, pulse, and breathing. Because the body goes into a deep stage of relaxation, right? So this is a really important phase for the body, for the overall body recover. And as this stage is when the body repairs and regrows tissues, building bones and muscles, and even strengthening the immune system. So this is extremely critical period for the quality of sleep and the general overall recovery of the body, right? This is the in this phase of sleep, it usually it lasts between 30 and 40 minutes. And as people age, they tend to spend less time in this phase and more time in the second stage of sleep. So this is pretty much what I have to say about the third phase of sleep, and now I'm gonna let Alejandra talk about the REM phase of sleep. Okay.
REM or rapid eye movement stage is also known as paradoxical sleep. This is because all the muscles in the body are relaxed. There's a lot of activity in the brain and your pulse rises. So this muscle paralysis is very important so that you don't act out what's happening in your dreams or like in your brain. So usually we spend about 90 or so minutes in this stage, and throughout the night we typically spend about 20 to 25% during the stage, and just repeats in a cycle, like the whole sleep cycle, like every 90 minutes or so. And it's very interesting because like since your brain is also so active and you're dreaming, most people can actually remember their dreams in some shape or form, whether if it's a story or just like flashbacks here and there. Yeah, that's REM sleep.
Okay, so disruptance in sleep stages. Okay, so first, the circadian rhythm. Your internal clock is called a circadian clock, and it cycles every 24 hours. Each 24-hour cycle is called your circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm disorders or sleep-wake disorders are problems that occur when your body and your sleep cycle is basically out of sync with the rest of your environment. What you can do to help this is basically, first, you can affect your diet by eating at better times, and second and most important of all is that you need to follow everything that the environment is giving you for you to sleep at the right times. So it gives you, the most obvious thing is it gives you day and night time. So just try to follow that. Then we start with sleep deprivation. That is a condition caused by a lack of sleep. It affects basically all of your body and everything you do. As it first affects your brain, it decreases the ability to focus, to store memories, and increases the risk of mental disorders. It basically weakens your mind, as it also affects you as you are less able to control against temptations. Then you got your heart, as it increases the risk of high blood pressure. It also affects your immune system, with affecting the production and increasing the risk of getting a virus. Then there's stomach, as it gives you hunger disorders. This is basically that either you get hungry at the times you're not supposed to, or you're getting more hungry than you're supposed to. Then we got the fat cells, as it increases the risk of obesity. Then joints, that is increases the probability of arthritis and inflammation. And in muscles, it reduces strength, reaction, and learning. So it basically affects your whole body. And this is basically why sleep is so important. Then we got the major sleep disorders. We got insomnia, that is having problems of falling asleep, or basically just staying asleep. It could be either one. Then we got narcolepsy, that is a sudden uncontrollable sleep attacks, and sometimes you fall directly into REM sleep. Then we got sleep apnea. This is the stopping of breathing while you are asleep. This condition is not that common, but it is common in one specific group of people, which is people with obesity and especially men. Then we got night terrors, that is, just waking up feeling absolutely terrified. This can be caused mainly because of very bad nightmares. And then at last we got sleepwalking and sleep talking. Thank you, and I leave you with my partner to wrap up the presentation.
So now I'm going to talk about the conclusion. While sleep duration is undoubtedly important, it is not the only part of the equation. It is also critical to think about sleep quality, and whatever the time spent sleeping is actually restorative. Sleep stages are important because they help your brain to recuperate and develop, and also to your body. Not getting enough sleep and REM sleep will be the causes of bad emotions, and also can affect many of your aspects in life, like can affect your physical health, which is something very, very important. Remember that you can help yourself getting better deep sleep or getting better sleep hygiene by getting like consistent sleep schedule, getting always natural light exposure, not drinking alcohol before bed. And also something that will help you is having nice mattresses or having comfortable sheets, having a really good pillow. So all of these factors will help you to get a better sleep, which is something that is so important for your health. So just remember to pay attention a lot on that. That way you can have a healthier life. Thank you very much.